Welcome to Facto 24/7. My name is Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez goes down tomorrow night in New York. I cannot wait. What a fight. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer. I'm telling you, it's one of those fights where it's going to be captivating from the first bout to the last, because not only are you going to see technical boxing on display, you know at some point these men are going to bite on the gum shield, head down and trade. It's going to ignite at some point. It's such a good fight. I cannot wait for it. Now, my title says Teo is in major trouble. And he is. I'm going to explain why. Now, there's a lot of factors that are going to define this fight. Right, so I'm going to go through some of them with you. Some are obvious, some aren't. First one is obviously the elephant in the room, the weight. How is Josh Taylor going to look making the weight? Right, because we know he struggled against Jack Catterall. He wasn't his usual self. He was talking about going up, and that was nearly a year and a half ago. So you've not made that weight since then, and that ain't going to help you. You know. So it is going. So is he going to be the same Josh Taylor as old? Is he going to be a non-form Josh Taylor, or is he going to be completely dead at the weight? Now, I've been very impressed with how he looks this week. Usually for fighters really struggling to make the weight, they look gaunt. Now, yes, I know as the week goes on, they'll cut more weight and they'll look different when they're weighing in today. But all week he's looked full, he's looked vibrant, he's looked healthy, he's looked in great shape, Josh Taylor. He does not look like a guy who's struggling to make the weight. Now, if it turns out he misses the weight completely, then I'm going to look stupid. But I think he's made the weight well. He looks good. He looks full. And I think Lopez have banked on him struggling at the weight. And he looks good to me. Now, Teofimo, he's moved up in weight and he's not a big light welter. He's a short guy. This time, though, he's not fighting a fringe European level fighter. You know, Sandor Martin gave him serious trouble, right? He's fighting one of the best fighters in the world. Is he big enough? Is he strong enough at this weight? I think the weight's going to be more of an issue for Teo than it is for Taylor. I think that's going to surprise people. But I am shocked by how Taylor's looked this week. He looks like he's making the weight well. Teo looks a little bit small for the weight for me, but he may grow into it. The training situation. Right. Josh Taylor left Ben Davison after the Jack Catterall performance, the win he got. And he moved to a training team in Liverpool, which is Joe McNally and Deco Rourke. Shout out to them, up-and-coming trainers. Got a really good stable, Liam Smith, Kevin Ajago, real boxing people. Now, it's not ideal that the first fight with Josh Taylor was against one of the best fighters in the world. I don't care who you are and what experience you have. You want to have time to gel with your fighter in a competitive environment. So you want to get a few fights under your belt. However, they've not just been with each other a few months. I think it's been a good year now that they've been with each other. Right, so they would have gelled, they will know each other, they'll get the tactics spot on. And Joe McNally and Deco Rourke, they're good boxing people. They're not stupid. They're no one's mugs. I think Taylor will look really good in this fight. We all know the issue that Teo has with his dad as a trainer. Now, I know he gets a lot of stick, but you have to give Teo Senior credit. You know, he has raised up an undisputed world champion. You know, you don't just raise world champions from nothing. Like, the guy isn't a mug. Does Teo Senior really need to make the decision to cut the apron strings and go, you know what, the best for my son is to be with a different trainer? Because the last two performances, I've seen him decline. Right? I've not seen good performances, and rather than saying what they're going to do and what they worked on, I'm just seeing smoke being blown up his arse. Now, I know it's a bit of an act and it's to get people talking, but when your trainer keeps saying you're going to be the face of boxing and this and that, and you're going to knock this person out, you're going to beat this and that, and you're stinking the place out with two bad performances, it's not great, is it? Now, we all saw what Teo said after the Martin fight. He said, do I still got this? Or along those lines. I don't know if I've still got it, or do I still got this? We saw that. Now, we tried to dress it up after the fight and say he was joking. It wasn't, right? So that's concerning. So is there someone around that camp? Is there a different voice that's going to give a different opinion and bring different ideas to the camp? Or is it just going to be the same old Teo? He's going to have to prove me wrong, but I just think it's a case of nothing changes if nothing changes. I think we're not. I don't know if we're going to see a great Teo in this fight. We're going to have to see tomorrow night. Are both fighters underestimating each other? Now, it's very important to highlight that, yes, the Catterall fight was a bad performance from Josh Taylor. He should have lost. He shouldn't have got the decision. Catterall should have won. But he didn't. It is what it is. But there's no doubt he was underestimating Jack, because I don't care what anyone says. Most people thought that was a walk in the park. Apart from me. Right? You can research me, you can check my videos on YouTube. I literally predicted the outcome of that fight. I said Catterall causing trouble, he'll be relaxed, he'll drop him, there'll be controversy on the scorecard. No one gave that, no one was coming up with the predictions that I did for that fight. I'm telling you now, and if you show me, I'll say fair play, but I haven't seen it yet. I remember Cal Brooks saying it's going to last 4 rounds, so there's no doubt he was underestimating Jack Catterall. This is a completely different story. He knows he's up against it. He knows he's in against one of the best fighters in the world. They would have prepared diligently, him and his team. They would have gone through every possible scenario, right? They wouldn't have overlooked Teofimo. On the other hand, is Teo overlooking Taylor? The fact that he's been calling him out, for me, suggests that it is, because I think they're banking on him really struggling to make the weight. Right? I think that's what they're banking on. And they're going to get a shock in this fight. I'm telling you, they're going to get a big shock. If Taylor is on form, it's going to be one of them, fuck, I've underestimated this guy. So I think one fight was underestimating one, and one isn't underestimating the other, and I think you'll see that on Saturday night. Right, let's talk about the fight. Let's get into the meat and bone of it. Right, I'm telling you, Taylor's going to cause him all sorts of problems. Now, when the fight was first announced, I was siding with Teofimo. I was thinking Taylor's not going to be great at the weight. They're obviously just picking this fight because they think he's dead at the weight. But as the weeks have gone on, and I've realised, again, it's easy to forget how good Josh Taylor is. I put a crazy stat out early on in the week, which I've seen repeated everywhere as the week's gone on. His last 6 opponents, 133 wins, 0 losses. That's absolutely insane. By anyone's standards, that's batshit crazy. I'm telling you, that is insane. Right? So I think all of that has been lost in the Catterall performance and the controversy, and people have forgot how good Josh Taylor is. He's an unbelievable fighter, right? And Teofimo, he's a great counter-puncher. He's a good box fighter, but he does like to counter-punch. But when he realises that he's not going to be able to counter-punch Josh Taylor as effectively as he thinks, and the counter-puncher is getting counter-punched, he's going to realise he's in a whole lot of trouble. Because what we've seen in the last 2 performances, if the boxing's not going well, he's just biting on a gum shield, plodding forward and just looking to headhunt. Did it with Cambosis, just looking to knock him out, just looking to take him out. And same with Martin. There wasn't really any ideas. He wasn't setting anything up. He wasn't using the jab. He was just trying to use the right hand and follow it up with a left hook, just winging the hooks in, right? And I don't trust that he won't do this fight. I think when Taylor was creating angles and he's getting off the ropes and he'll bamboozle him a little bit, I think he's just going to resort to just standing there. He's going to run out of ideas and he's going to look to bang and trade with Josh Taylor. And I think Taylor's going to put on an absolute clinic. I'm telling you, the most effective shot that Josh Taylor will have in his book in this fight is the left uppercut from a southpaw stance to the body. He's phenomenal with it. He goes down, bang, whips that uppercut, and it gets you right in the solar plexus or to the liver, and that over a sustained period of time will break you down. It's the honey punch for Josh Taylor. He's really, really effective with it. And Teo's going to taste that, and he's going to think, man, what am I going to do here? I can't. He's hitting me with this. He's getting out of the way. I'm in trouble. I genuinely think Josh Taylor is going to rise to the occasion. Right? Now, look, I may be wrong, Teo. Maybe Teo performs to his best. Maybe we see the old Teo. You know, that's why this fight is so interesting. But I just think Josh Taylor is... I just think he's... boxing-wise, is the better boxer. Now... He can't get dragged into a fight, Taylor. He's fiery. He likes to get involved. Right? He does. But he can't get dragged in. Right? He can't. At some point, as I mentioned before, it's going to ignite. They're going to have to stand in trade. But Taylor needs to use his lateral movement, get in and out of range. He's very good at circling off. He'll be on the ropes and he'll dip and get out and pivot, and he will confuse Teo. He will, right? But he can also fight on the inside. Josh Taylor is a seriously good fighter. He's one of the best fighters in the world. If he's on form, he wins this fight for me. He wins this fight for me. I am concerned about the judges, I'm not going to lie. It stinks of, if it's close, they'll give it to you. And it's just horrible to think that, because people might say, oh, it's justice for Jack Catterall. Listen, just because that was a bad decision doesn't mean this should be. So I am fearful of that. It wouldn't surprise me if Taylor got robbed on the scorecards. But I think he's going to win this fight. I do. I think he looks good. He's talking well. People are saying, oh, Teo's got him shook and all this because of the face or the round the table thing they did. Listen, if you don't know Josh Taylor, you're making a big mistake, because he generally is like that. He's fiery. He's a fiery Scotsman. He did not look shook one bit. He is acting himself. It's Teo, the one talking nonsense, absolute nonsense. It just looks like fake confidence to me. It does, talking about taking a body and killing Josh Taylor. It's just crap. Right, the loudest in the room and all that. I'd be more concerned if Teo said, listen, I'm locked in. I'm not going to talk anything. I'm going to prove that I'm back to my best. I'm going to show it in the ring. Now, I know he needs to promote the fight, but I would see that as more dangerous than him saying, I want a body and all that. That just looks like a deluded motherfucker to me, who's someone who hasn't got people around him telling him the truth. Right? These guys are fighters. They know what they sign up for. They've got superhuman mentality. Do you think you're going to scare Josh Taylor by saying that? You're just going to get him worked up. You've made a big mistake with that. I'm telling you, because Taylor is going to look to punish you now for talking that shit. You should have kept your mouth shut and work in the gym. Show us, right? Because we've seen the talk the last 2 fights and you ain't produced it, fella. Right? And I'm a fan of Teo. I am. But when you're talking and you're not producing, you're going to get questions asked. So we'll see how he deals with Josh Taylor on Saturday night, because he's going to realise pretty quickly that he's in against an elite fighter. And I think him banking on Taylor not making a weight, they rolled the dice and they're going to come up short for me. Josh Taylor wins this fight. I'm telling you, he wins this fight. Fascinating though. Just cannot wait for it. Cannot wait for it. Right. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with what I say? Who's going to win this fight? Josh Taylor or Teofimo Lopez? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.